This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, it hurts.
Hurts.
So, welcome back, everybody, to another week, another exciting, hopefully exciting episode of 5% Chance of Failure. This week, I don't know, there's a 5% chance of this week?
Rain.
5% chance of weather.
That a bird poops on Mike.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're loud enough. It's actually not going to happen. The camera's mounted to the bird. So, who wants to recap last week?
Nose goes.
So, last week we kicked Red's butt. Turns out that he and his friends were part robots. Red turned into an arm. Robbie got the arm and put it into a magical bag, which I think is called a haversack. And then everyone was like, oh, job's done. And meanwhile, I was still thinking, like, isn't there a metal dwarf and a dragon in here that we still have to deal with? And everyone thinks that the job is done. So then we leave, and there's a big fire, and no one else wanted to go to the fire except Ronan. So then we took a bath, and then Robbie laid in a fountain, heard dragon shanking bathhouse, and then ran in there with his daylights on, and that's where we ended. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So you guys
screaming those 4 words that I heard
on loop. So yeah, important thing to mention. This is a bathhouse. You're in the less than pleasant side of town. So this bathhouse does double duty as a brothel. Just as an important tidbit.
A waffle?
Brothel.
Oh, that's less fun. I like waffles.
What waffles are you having? And can
Lego
I have some?
my Eggos, my friend.
I mean,
make a sandwich out of them.
it's like a strip club with a breakfast buffet. What's to lose?
You go to we go for the buffet. So we will pick up pretty much right where we left off, with Robbie sprinting his way into the building past the very large mace-wielding bouncer woman, and sprinting into the house, into the bathhouse. Robbie, as you are running in an effort to find your friends, you're startling a lot of people as you're running through here, because it's probably close to 1-2 in the morning, after your adventures down in the sewers, and it is very close to, it's closer to 6 a.m. than 6 p.m. So as you're sprinting through, you're seeing a lot of very confused people's faces popping out of doors. Some men and women walking the halls that look like they work there are leaping out of your way and looking at you very confused as you are hurtling through these hallways.
Yeah, I'm not stopping anywhere. I am running in as direct a line through the hallways because I have no idea where any of them are.
Because you guys did take a brief short rest and recovery in the everybody got a short resting, even Robbie in the filthy fountain.
I thought
into disease, baby.
I thought I at least got out into the hallway. I'm pretty sure. Like, as soon as I heard Robbie and the wood splinter, I'm pretty sure I was like, I walk out the door.
Okay, so you're.
I think you did say that, yeah.
Okay, so because I remember Lythar just yelling, Lythar and Cora splashing and yelling about dragons, and Lami in like the next room over, just like sinking up to his eyes, like an alligator,
attempting to drown myself,
just very slowly. Like, there are worse ways to go. I wish.
Even if I see Ronan, since I see nobody else, I'm going to still attempt to move past him. Like, just keep running, circling, warning.
Yeah. So you've heard him. You guys are up on the second floor of this bathhouse, and so you heard this clomping down below, and then he came up the stairs, and this blinding light is pouring down the hallways as Ronan, you're in the hallway waiting, and Robbie just comes like comb, 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 just looping these 4 words at an ear-splitting volume.
I'm just gonna let him keep running.
Okay. Is anyone else popping out of the hallway?
I'm staying in my bath.
After a minute or two, I'll pop out in the hallway.
Okay.
I'll pop my head out.
So, for people poking their heads out, is it after you hear the sound of metal feet run
Yes.
by the first time?
Yes,
Cool.
for me.
So, Robbie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Leather.
I was just saying I'm gonna pop my head out, but I'm only wearing a towel. I am not ready to go. I'm
Cora,
just like,
Cora also pokes her head out. You don't know if she's wearing a towel or not. So, Robbie, as you run, you do the lap, and the only person you've seen is Ronan. And as you come back down the stairs and do another circuit, you're seeing birds. You're seeing more people. People are starting to come out in, like, they have sheets, they have robes, like they're starting to leave their rooms to see what the hell is going on. So there are a lot more people here, and you are continuing to shout dragon, dagger, bathhouse, danger, and just looping these 4 words. And you managed to, people are a little dazed, a little confused. Some of them may be on some kind of recreational drugs. Because
Like French.
So, if nobody's downstairs and everybody's upstairs, I'll basically make that loop, get to at the base of the stairs, turn around very, very quickly, and just goes, "That means run."
okay.
nice.
I'm gonna start knocking on doors on the second floor to try to get
Have my dice out for
my
this
friends to hurry the damn up.
So, Robbie, you're at the base of the stairs. You're at the base of the stairs, or did you go up?
I stopped at the base of the stairs to tell everybody who's just milling around staring at me while I'm shouting all of these warnings, I stopped there, turn around, and just run.
Okay. Some of the people are a little alarmed because they've never seen a robot in a trench coat yelling at them before. Also, one whose entire head is a beacon. So for those of you upstairs, you hear the shouting stop for a second, and a very familiar voice just go, "That means run." What's everybody doing?
I'm not running. I'm staying in my bath.
I'm gonna
Just kinda
get dressed
thinking
as
to
fast as possible.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
Dress as fast
So-
as possible and get out.
I see Thalia leaving, so now there's no chance of running into a naked person. Well, a naked other, you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna start, like, opening doors, looking for anyone who hasn't shown up yet.
Okay, roll
And next,
me.
like Darts Winky.
He's in a towel. You can
Roll-
get dressed while in a towel.
Roll me 3d12s. Real
Ready to
quick.
see this
I only
elven
have
dong?
2.
Nice.
How can I do that? Well, I got a 1.
Okay.
He's seen the elven dong.
He's
I
seeing
got
the thing.
a 6
Mm-hmm.
and an 8.
He's seeing all the dongs.
He's seeing
Okay.
all the things.
So you
It's like the first season of Game of Thrones.
as you're opening these doors, you go and the first one you open is the one right next to you, which appears to be empty. The second one you open opens directly into the second one you go to open is Thrall's door, and he is like he's basically kitted up and ready to go. Like he's putting his sword on as you throw open the door.
I'm just gonna go, "We should go," and keep looking.
And then the other door you open is Lami's. and you see you fling the door open, and there's this. It is a steamy haze. It is built. He's basically heated the water enough that it actually is kind of scrubbing him and cleaning him. And in this steam, you just see the snout and the eyes just above the water, just looking at you.
Lami, we need to leave
What do we need to leave for?
because Robbie said so.
Robbie says a lot of things.
I'm gonna grab his full plate chest and run away with it.
In bath time, Ronan.
Oh,
Nice.
So
good call. That's a good
as
call.
Lami shouts, "It's bath time!" the door shuts. And is there anyone staying in their rooms at this point? Anyone who is still getting dressed?
I guess I should probably leave. So
So as everyone is coming out of their rooms, Frank and did you end up naming your homunculus?
no.
Jeff.
So you've been working with your homunculus and kind of making some tweaks and adjustments to it, and so it's parked. Where is he on your shoulder? Is he in like a chest pocket? Is he in your hat? Do you have a hat?
I think he's gonna be in Frank's hat, chilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this eye has little, very gentle. Does it have like 2 arms and 2 legs, or does it have 8 just appendages? How does it get around?
I think it's just like a flying eyeball, like it just kind of floats
Okay.
around, and
So
then it's just kind of sitting like directly in the front of his hat, like right at his forehead.
Okay, so it's just hanging out in the hat, going on a trip. And so as everyone is coming out, you see the very familiar frame of your Goliath friend grabbing a very ornately and really kind of gaudy looking piece of full plate and running out the door. And
Called out.
Lami's just like, "It's bath time!" Click. Down at the base of the stairs, Robbie, you see a couple of people are, the employees of the establishment, of all genders and races, are kind of milling around trying to figure out what the hell to do. You do see a couple of people that look like they haven't really worked a day in their lives, are very discreetly like covering their faces and making their way out of a side door as discreetly as humanly possible. There are 1 or 2 that look like they're a little drunk, and they're like, "What was that?" And they're just being ushered out by their other nobility friends. It's a pretty safe guess as the rest of you come down the stairs and kind of see this hubbub. You do actually give me Thalia, because you said you went down first. Thalia and Thrall, give me perception checks, please. Start rolling some dice.
21.
7.
Okay. So Thrall, you think some of these people look a little familiar. Thalia, you recognize several members of the council making their way out as nonchalantly as possible.
Because corrupt government, that's why it's important to vote.
They're kind of just getting their. They come to the seedy side of town. Ooh. There's only one that is actually sitting on the council. The rest of them are also like minor nobles, but definitely like there's some money in this place. And speaking of money, as you guys mosey down the stairs, you hear, what the hell's going on here? And you see the tall bouncer woman with her mace on her shoulder, looking around and just pushing through the throng. And her employees are coming over, and they're like, "Listen, I don't know what he's doing. Like, what's going on?" She's like, let me handle this. And she walks over with the mace and goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
I repeat the 4 words directly to her.
Is his head still a beacon of brightness?
Yes. I have not turned it off.
She's squinting into the light, and she goes, Okay. What does that mean?
Well, there are several possibilities, but the most likely is that there is an assassin in this establishment here to kill my dragon friend.
Okay.
In the bathtub.
I haven't seen any assassins.
In this instance, I will have to warn you, everyone left in this establishment will be considered a target.
You can hear there's a just dead silence.
Am I down there at that point?
Yes, as you're coming down the stairs, you're seeing this woman with her mace. It's still on her shoulder in a very like non-threatening pose, but her hand is definitely on that, like she's ready to clunk some heads as needed. And as Robbie, there's that split second of silence where everyone's like, I'm in the establishment. That means, oh, and all the non-employees vanish like a magic trick. They're just gone. It's like being at a college party and all of a sudden you hear sirens, and all of a sudden they're just gone. And the woman is still standing there, just staring right at you, Robbie, squinting more appropriately. She's just still squinting at you, and her employees are kind of they've gathered together behind her, but not as they're not walling you in. They're just clustered behind her because they don't know anything that's going on. Thalia, you're here. The rest of you, aside from Lami, are currently here. Ronan is still carrying. Oh, sorry.
Do they look aggressive? Towards me. Do the employee, other than the woman with the mace, do the other establishment employees look aggressive to me?
Give me insight check.
Unnatural 20. Not yet.
A dirty
Modified
20?
Dirty 20.
Okay. You're giving a quick glance, and none of them look like they're assassins. None of them look like they are going to try and jump you. Right now, they are scared, confused, and waiting for management to make a decision. They're waiting to hear what their boss has to say. But they don't look like they're going to be jumping you guys en masse.
Then I stay on guard, but not aggressive.
All right.
I would like to take Lami's chest piece and just put it over Robbie's torso. Just go thump. And then I want to go back upstairs and find Lami.
Okay.
I'm gonna be preparing myself.
Nobody else wears my armor but me.
So I'm out of the water. I'm wearing a towel and I'm holding a shield and I'm muttering to myself, "Save the world again, dragons, daggers. Someone else's turn to save the world. Bath time."
So Robbie, you feel like all of a sudden your vision is blocked, and your arms are inside this armor.
I assume he wasn't quiet about it.
Yeah, and everyone kind of
hold this.
Yeah, so now it is just literally
arms. Your arms, with a little bit of work, you could get your arms out through the armor.
But since I know it was Ronan, I'm not freaking out yet.
Okay. So Ronan's gone back upstairs. Does anyone want to do anything before the rest of the farce continues?
Thalia's just gonna kind of tap on. Well, was gonna tap on his shoulder. I don't know what that is now.
It's still his shoulder. You could just wrap on the armor.
Message received, Robbie. You can turn off the headlights.
Understood. Light goes out.
And hopefully the siren goes off.
The
The
woman very politely just goes, "Thank you."
So where is this coming from, Robbie? What's going on?
Heard voices outside. I was under the water taking a bath.
In the fountain?
Of course, it was water.
We'll get to that later. So you heard voices, and all you heard was those words, right?
Correct. I had to act under a logical assumption that we have a dragon friend in the bathhouse, and he is now in danger.
So we should get out of here?
Or hunt an assassin. What would you prefer?
It's been a long night. I'm not sure I'm really up for assassin hunting, so my vote's for get out of here.
Can I run down the stairs while this is happening? Me and Cora come jumping down the stairs, and I'm like, dragons! Ah!
Yes.
I don't know the context of why he said dragon, but I'm like, dragons! I told you!
So you're gonna come, you and Cora at a dead run, come tearing out of your room, and you hear thump, 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 and you hear the scratch of nails, and you come to the top of the stairs. Give me a dex save.
Oh God.
I was about to say, please
Give me a dex save to stop, because the stairs are crowded.
Oh, easy. That's a 27.
Okay, give me a dex save for Cora, please.
Shit.
Cora's
I hate
gonna
having to
fail
roll
and
for
then-
two different people.
Be afraid of stairs from this day forward.
You want to say that?
She got a fucking nat 20. She's gonna do
Oh,
a
okay.
backflip. Jesus.
So you run to the end of the stairs, and you
She's always
see these.
better than me. She always is.
So you guys come to the end of the stairs, and you see that everyone is kind of gathered in the landing, and you could stop, but you do see that there is an area just past this group between the woman wielding the mace and a large group of employees of this place. If you both rolled high enough, if you want to leap over everybody like cool kids, that's great. So so you hear dragons, and just these two figures flash overhead. Cora is pretty luminous. It doesn't look like anything other than she's just catching the light in the room. And they both land. It is a perfect, like, it's an action pose kind of landing, not a 3-point stance. That's bad for your knees.
Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
But definitely like ready to go. And Cora like just dropped down, and her tail is up, and she's looking around, and she's like ready to go. And the woman with the mace spins around and has it. She doesn't have it swung, but she's pointing it at you. And she goes, "Can you not be behind me right now, or between me and my? Can you stand over there with the rest of your friends? If that's okay."
I'm just gonna look down at Cora. I guess that's okay. All right, let's go, girl. Walk over there.
Cora's like, "Oh." Just follow. She just kind of falls behind you. And so the woman's like, puts the mace back on her shoulder, and she goes, "So you're leaving? Is that what I'm hearing?"
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This has never happened before.
And she kind of left. She goes, "I'm not used to hearing that from people who only use the baths. But you paid your you paid your way.
Big
So no
oops.
harm, no foul. But please, if you think there's assassins, please don't come to my bathhouse."
Yes, I'm so sorry. Again, I'm really sorry.
It has been a long day.
That one I have heard.
And I wiggle out of the armor and hand her an inkwell from the pocket.
Okay, so are you wiggling like you're just like skimming, like are you wiggling out the top or out the bottom?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wiggle it like up and off so it clanks off me.
So there's you're doing that from inside the armor. You just hear, "It has been a long day," and then bam, and you hand her an inkwell. She goes, "Is this a drink?"
Oh, I am Robbie.
Hi, Robbie. And she like kind of like she has the inkwell in one hand and the mace in the other, and she's like,
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Hannah, and she sticks out her hand.
I hand her another inkwell. Pleasure to meet you, Hannah.
So now she's holding two inkwells, or she's back to mace in one hand, inkwell in the other, and she's like, okay, and she puts the mace away and pulls the inkwell out, puts them in a pocket. So, and she kind of motions the door and she goes, "You did say you were leaving."
We have a few more people. We're just, I'm sure they're just getting dressed, and then we will be on our way. I promise. I'm like looking up the stairs nervously, like, come on.
Lami, what are you doing? Are you still muttering?
I'm muttering to myself, walking down the hallway towards the stairs, wearing a towel and holding a shield.
Where's the rest of your armor?
Doesn't matter.
So you hear thump, 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 and you look up the stairs and you see a pair of dragony feet and still steaming from the bath and a white towel. And Lami is standing there with his shield.
What's wrong? I don't understand.
Robbie thought he heard something about assassins coming after you when he was taking a bath in the fountain, so we need to go.
Assassins want me because I'm taking a bath.
I don't know, but he heard the word dragon and attack and dagger, so we need to go now.
Or I could finish my bath and we could go from there.
Or we can leave now.
I'm gonna go drain his bath, seeing as I'm already upstairs.
I hope he burns himself.
Hannah she puts her hands, she crosses her arms, she goes, "I'm sorry, sir, but due to an unfortunate attempted assassination, we're closing early. Don't worry about the tub. We'll take care of that. But if you should collect your belongings and head out."
Walk back to my room and gather my stuff.
When you walk into the room, Ronan, you see Ronan. So Ronan, you're in the room, and you hear him walking back as you're fiddling with this large copper tub. Are you just gonna reach in and pull the plug?
Is it hot?
It's a little warm. It's nothing compared to working steel.
Then I will reach in and pull the plug.
Pulling the plug, and it just starts draining away.
Very accurate bathtub noises. I'm impressed.
I was raised by a bathtub. And so as it's draining, and it starts doing the little whirlpool thing, which is always just fascinating to watch. And Ronan, your hand is still kind of in the tub as the door swings open, and you look up and you meet eyes with Lami as he's standing there with his shield.
I'm just gonna say to him, "You're home early," and I just kind of like stand up, brush myself off, and I'm gonna leave.
So you leave. Lami, your tub is now drained.
That's unfortunate.
And you are now alone in your room. And as you're getting dressed, Hannah looks at the rest of you and goes, "I will say, not the first assassin warning, alarm that's been raised here. First time in a long while. Definitely the first time someone's done that, though. Robbie, why do you do that?
Which part exactly?
Mostly the glowing.
Have you heard of the Primus?
No, can't say I have.
I'm just gonna sit on the ground. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is gonna be a long discussion. Sit on the ground.
Well, there is a plane. It is called Mechanus. And I will start until somebody stops me, just going into this long, here's Mechanus. This is what the Primus is. He is the prime number. Did you not
At this
know?
point, I'm going to walk down the stairs and start pushing Robbie towards the door.
Thalia is taking notes behind Robbie.
Robbie is turning into the Wikipedia article on Mechanus, and Thalia's like writing things down. And as Frank, as Maury, Maury, as you're kind of pushing on him, Frank can and like kind of hunkers down and starts pushing as well.
So, by the time they get me to the counter, I am going to actually turn my head, look directly at Hannah. I'll pull 50 gold out, throw it on the counter, and say, "This, I apologize for the loss of business." And as I say that, I cast Friends on her.
Okay. And she goes, "Oh, Robbie, that's really nice of you. Yeah, that looks like it's enough to cover the door as well. So, that's you're not as bad as I thought."
I look forward to business with you in the future, and then continue out the door.
Okay.
Robbie needs a pet bird.
So Lythar's sitting on the ground. Thalia. So we've got most of the people out. Ronan, Thrall, and Lami. What are you guys doing?
I'm just waiting in the hallway.
You're still inside. You've kind of gathered with the rest of the group, and you've watched this whole thing kind of go down. So
I'm gonna go outside with Lythar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get up and walk out with them because the discussion has ended.
the lecture,
the article reading,
the wiki page. So Ronan and Lami, what are you two up to?
I'm just collecting my stuff, putting my clothes on, reluctantly.
I'm just waiting outside for Lami to be done.
Okay.
Upstairs, like outside his room, not like outside.
So there's some grumbling coming from the room still about it's only an hour bath. I wasn't even started yet. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Lami, how long are you intentionally stalling?
Not that long. Just kind of as I put every piece of armor on, like
a lot of deep sigh, the clink of metal on metal, tighten a strap, sigh. And after a couple of minutes of this, Hannah comes up with two very muscular looking men, but they don't have the same kind of brawler physique she does. Ronan, they might work here is probably a good guess. They're two larger dudes. Not by larger, I mean large for humans. They both are human presenting. And Hannah comes up and she's pulled out the two inkwells and she's kind of looking at them as she walks down the hallway. And she looks up and sees you and she goes, "Oh, you still in there?"
Yeah, he's grumbling and he's coming.
one of the larger men turns to the other one and goes, "Yeah, I heard that one before." And Hannah's like, "No, we'll give him 2 more minutes, and then we'll politely ask him to leave again."
Gonna like knock 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 knock. Lomi, we have to leave.
I know.
Like right now.
Just, like slowly open the door and just reluctantly walk out. It was bath time, Ronan. It was bath time. You ruined it. Not time to save the world. Do that later. We can wait.
Before you both go, it's like before you go, I have a question about the robot in the duster.
Yes.
I need you to. He's not allowed back on the premises.
That's fine. There's lots of places he's not allowed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll make sure to keep him away.
He, money-wise, he paid for the door and covered. We weren't far from closing anyway, so I'm not worried about losing money. But I don't appreciate being bamboozled, bewitched, and otherwise influenced, if you catch me.
Bamboozled?
I didn't do anything. I just wanted a bath, and
I know.
seems I can't have one.
You had your bath, sir.
It wasn't long enough.
Blame your friend. And Ronan, you remember a similar sounding conversation from an angry innkeeper in the Twice Torched Inn. You remember Patty being a little upset when Robbie was done shopping with her.
Need to have a talk with that robot.
I think several of you need to have a talk with that robot.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you for your patronage, and most of you I would be welcome to see back here again.
Well, thank you.
And she very politely gestures to the stairs. She goes, "We'll follow you out."
I say, "Now, Lomi, I took your chest piece, but it's just downstairs, so we can go get it. And I have a peace offering for you leaving." And I'm going to pull out a cube and hand it to him.
Okay.
What's the cube of?
You should recognize the cube.
Is it a cheese cube?
No, it is a metallic cube.
Oh.
So real quick, Ronan.
Are you trying to do
Which cube? Because my notes have you having 3 cubes.
I do have 3 cubes.
Cool. Roll a d4. If it's a 4, re-roll it.
Okay.
Actually, you have 3. Roll
I
a
have
d6.
them in separate pockets. I didn't just
roll a
put
d6
them together. Okay.
Me okay.
Unless you're giving him a specific one.
I want to give him a specific one.
Okay, which so yeah, you're handing him this cube. Are you? I'll let you decide if you're going to tell him which one you're giving him.
Not yet.
Okay.
I told you which one I'm giving him. Yeah, do you remember? We'll talk about it later, and I'm going to start
I know
leaving.
what it is. Can we use it outside?
Not outside here. Outside. Somewhere, yes.
How about in here?
Not in here either.
Why would you give me a present if I can't use it?
You might... It's for later.
Does everyone in this group just hand each other things? I don't know. That sounds... I mean, it sounds nice to get presents all the time, but like, that's why are they just handing each other garbage? I don't call it garbage. It might be important. And Hannah's just go, "Shut up, both of you. You're supposed to look tough and not open your goddamn mouths."
Trust me, it's all
Sorry,
important garbage, and we do hand each other important garbage all the time.
As I'm walking by, I'm going to hand each of the guards an arrow. And I'm just gonna leave. They're the poisoned arrows, by the way.
You see one of them.
You should have saved those for me.
I guess they're bolts, technically.
I mean, is this... Do you think it's a Do you think it's a threat? No, it couldn't be a threat. He's the nice one. Like, he's helping get him out so we don't... It smells kind of funny. As you traipse your way down the stairs, down to the armor, the chest piece.
Is it still there?
Yeah, unless somebody else picked it up.
Okay.
I'll put it on when I get down there.
Okay.
I'm gonna say to Ronan, this place is getting a 1-star review on the local notice board.
Well, I guess. That's fine.
Meanwhile, at the local notice board outside, the rest of you see Alami and Ronan traipsing their way out. The place has kind of cleared out. You're seeing a decent amount of movement out on the streets because you just had the walking air raid siren of your robot friend running around the city for a hot second. So as everyone kind of groups together, what are y'all doing?
I believe we should hide.
From whom?
Everyone?
You're muted, Josh.
That sounds a bit excessive. I think we should just go to bed.
I think we should go find Ergen.
After breakfast.
Well, there is a slight issue.
With breakfast?
We may have upset the city guard upon leaving. I caused an excessive amount of damage on the street.
What did you do?
It's fine.
It happens, Robbie. If you're going to save the world, you might blow some things up.
So what you're saying is we need to be sneaky.
Yes, and unfortunately, I can only cast Pass Without a Trace once a day.
I should have
We have used
that spell.
We have also, possibly, if there are more of them, alerted not only some syndication that seems to be hunting me and Thalia, but that man was made out of Modrons. I believe we have alerted Kor to our presence and knowledge of him.
Why do you think that?
Modrons all communicate with each other.
Do you think they can communicate through the door?
That is an unknown possibility, and I am not willing to risk it.
If that were the case, then couldn't the Modrons communicate with Kor? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
But then why would the red guy need you and Thalia to open the door if Kor has already opened the door? Couldn't they have just asked Kor?
I believe it was explained to us that things inside cannot breach.
But they were outside.
They were trying to open it for your dwarven friend.
Oh.
There is a dragon down there, and what she does seems to be infectious. I am worried about what is behind that door.
Oh well, we should go kill it after we find Ergen.
I believe Ergen can at least protect us from the city guard.
So are we finding
I'm not worried
Ergen?
about the city
Or are
guard.
we hiding?
Can you message him?
I can try again. I think.
That is troublesome.
Yeah, I couldn't contact him last time. I tried sending a message right after we destroyed that metal thing, and then the explosion happened, and I haven't heard from him.
It sounds like a good place to start, honestly.
To use a term I have heard before,
Go to bed.
I believe we are SOL.
I'm not worried about the guards.
Standards of learning?
Is that what it stands for?
That's what I know it as.
That's not what I know it as. Do I see where the fiery explosion was?
So you can still see. You can. It's odd because you see something that doesn't quite look like smoke, but you do see something rising up above the city in that portion of the city. You see this strange purpley haze almost. It's not thick like usual smoke. It's maybe like a steam, like it does. You can see it, you can track it anywhere in the city because it's catching light from presumably windows or whatever is there. Something is throwing enough light that you can see this weird purple wavery column of something as it drifts away on the breeze.
I'm gonna go that way.
I was gonna say, is there any way Cora or I could make like a perception check to try to see if we remember the general direction of where the explosion came from? Since we were,
You guys wouldn't need that because there's a massive indicator.
The purple stuff.
That's
The purple
everything that
stuff.
he just explained.
Yeah, but I didn't. You said it was not smoke, so I don't know if
It's weird because it is where that explosion happened. You remember it being in that portion of the city. It's in the upper crust. It's in the nice part of town, but it's not burning like a normal fire. It's not like a building exploded and everything's on fire. It's this weird purpley haze coming up instead of smoke.
Ronan goes towards it. I'm gonna follow him right behind him because I want to find her again.
Robbie, beer
Also
me.
gonna follow.
Are we up for another fight?
We're always up for another fight, and I'm just like walking backwards with my hands out to the side.
Okay, as you're walking backwards,
Do it.
Ronan, give me a perception check.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make him do like an athletics check.
No, I thought about it. I thought about him making a dex check to not fall.
Yeah.
But he's got big enough feet that a rock to trip him is basically a small wagon
Perception?
or a child. Yes,
That-
perception.
Is a 14, which is pretty good for me.
Cool. So as you're walking backwards, you're like, we're always up for a fight, and you look and you see all of these people looking out their windows and seeing you walking like this backwards down the alley, and you're seeing, even at this distance, you guys aren't welcome here. You guys are getting a lot of stink eye from people. People on the streets, like there's in almost every window there's a face watching you guys leave.
Are we leaving?
Watching you Thrall, Lythar and Cora, like that group of you has split off, and you notice that everyone is looking upset.
I was gonna go, so we should leave. Come on, Lummy. Come on, everybody. Let's leave.
I'm waiting for my beer.
I pull him a long bike.
Okay. When you drink it, it seems like a beer.
Perfect.
Nothing.
Everybody, stay close to me. We're leaving. We're going to figure out what this explosion is, and then maybe we can go to bed. And I walk away towards the explosion, not in the wrong direction.
I want to be like, bed? He was just talking about breakfast. What? Does this guy know what time it is?
So is everybody like on their way now?
I will follow.
So who's
Thalia?
towards the rear? Who's towards the rear?
I am.
I think
Thalia.
Thalia and Robbie.
Thalia and Robbie, as you guys are walking, you do a quick head count. You're missing somebody.
Oh god, where's Keelik?
Who cares?
You should.
Should I though?
Where
I
did
summon the blade.
When was the last time anybody saw him?
Do bugbears even take baths?
I'm going to hastily jog back to the bathhouse.
Mhm.
Is Helga? What was her name? Helen?
Hannah.
Hannah? Is she outside?
No, the place looks, all the windows are shut. Peeking through some of the windows, you do see that it looks like people inside are cleaning up, and they're looking like they're gonna. It's kind of like being in a bar at closing
I'm
time.
gonna
People are just like,
Or is the door unlocked?
the door is locked,
Door's
so
locked. I'm
people
gonna knock.
don't drunkenly mosey in. And one of the larger gentlemen that came up to escort the two of you down the stairs looks over, sees you, looks around, walks over, and goes, "Hi, sir. Can I help you?"
Yes, we're actually... I know that we just left after all of that hubbub, but we're actually missing one of our friends. So if I could contribute like 10 gold, would you let me see if he's in here?
I can tell you right now, there's nobody here that doesn't work here.
Is he lying?
Give me an insight check. Because right now, you're the only one who's... I was going to say, Ronan's the only one who's gone. Thrall, if you want to go with him. Let's go check it
Insight
out.
is +0, so 16.
Yeah, I'll walk up, like, not with him, but, you know. Just...
Mhm. So, yeah, you got a 16?
Mhm.
He seems to be telling the truth. He's like kind of the, "Hey buddy, sorry we're closed," like, you know. And he's like, we have people cleaning out all the upstairs rooms, and there's nobody in here, nobody that doesn't work here.
Are you sure?
Have you seen the bugbear?
I mean, I saw the one you guys came in with, but
Did you see where he went?
he... Well, let me...
Have we stopped? Did we all stop moving, by the way?
I would think I would stop, realizing we were missing him.
Cool. So while they're having that part of the conversation, I look at what was his name? The ghost, and just go find out what's up. And he flies back to
So
continue. Sorry.
Thrall, as you come up and you're having this conversation, and you're seeing Ronan having this conversation, the gentleman goes, give me just let me ask if anybody's seen him, because I didn't see him leave, but I was a little distracted with, you know, with the, and he gets this look of like, what the hell is that? And you look, and there's this bluish, this translucent blue glowing figure just like floats, and is kind of floating probably a couple of feet behind the two of you, but at a height so he kind of fits in with like the relative size. So there's now three figures staring down this man. He's like, yeah, let me ask, and like slams the door and pulls down the blinds. And through one of the windows in the front, you see him making various like warding gestures of like, that's an evil fucking spirit, I don't want to touch it, like, you know, touching the door, like above the door and the windowsills and things like that. But you see him going around, and he asks a couple of people, and you see Hannah come down the stairs with her, and she looks like she has her mace on her hip, but she's carrying what looks like a bucket of dirty water and a mop over her shoulder. And the guy runs up, and you see him talking, and she's like, they're clearly having a conversation. And from the looks of it, the gentleman that you just talked to at the door is like, listen, they're back, they're looking for their friend, They won't leave. I don't know what the hell to do. And then the ghost showed up, and she's like, and this part you hear because it's coming towards you. And you see her go, I don't care about this ghost. There's nobody in here. I've personally just checked every room that they use. There's none of their stuff is here. None of them are here. If that robot comes back, you tell me. All right. He goes, all right, Hannah. I'll tell him. But wait here. And you see him he's like, give me. Walks back to the door, and you can see him kind of backlit against the shade. And he's, and he pulls up the blind and cracks open the door and goes, I'm sorry, sir. I don't have. No one's here.
Would you mind if I spoke with Hannah?
She might.
She might mind?
She's not in the best of moods.
Tell her that I'll give her 50 gold if she lets me just look through the rooms.
Give me a persuasion check. Oh, Robbie, you are muted up.
I look through the rooms, the ghost is going to turn to the side and start floating through the walls.
Okay.
Ooh. It's an 18.
So, 18?
Unless I have a persuasion. Ooh, I have +4, so that's 22. Whoa.
Are you proficient in persuasion, or do you just have really high charisma?
I have 13 + 1 charisma. So I must be proficient in it.
Yeah, wow. Weird that you're proficient in persuasion.
I'm also proficient in conch shell playing.
Yeah, but that's not a skill that's useful. So as the guy turns and he kind of stops and looks as the ghost just phases through the wall on the second floor, and is just taking a look-see. And you guys, Thrall, you and Ronan have noticed this ghost also disappear through this wall. Thrall, you hear, if I can assist.
Who's there?
Have your large friend push the door in when the proprietor comes to talk to him. Not forcibly, just enough that we can get inside.
We just think the same thing.
Look at that.
I knew you would make an excellent wielder. And there's this weird, it kind of flickers across your vision, this large figure giving a very courtly bow and then disappearing as, in the shadow of the room, there's this large figure, and then as Hannah walks by, it's gone when she walks past. Like the Jason Bourne thing when the bus goes by, but a lot slower and a little spookier.
Nice.
So she's coming to the door.
Ronan. When she gets here, either push or pull the door open enough for me to get in when I go invisible. I'll go look for Keelan.
Okay.
She comes to the door, pulls it open. She goes, So, Rose said you wanted to talk to me?
Yes, and I pull out my coin purse and I kind of put my arm against the door and I kind of lean on it in hopes that it opens a little bit more. And I'm gonna go, I would just like to offer you, I know it's some trouble, but 50 gold just to look around. We're very concerned about our friend. I know that my friend kind of swindled you. He left you 20 gold. I thought 50 would be enough to convince you.
Robbie did leave 50.
Oh, he did?
He did leave 50.
Oh, I thought he said 20.
No.
Oh, okay. Then I'll up it to 70.
Okay. So, Ronan, give me a strength check.
And while he's doing that, I'm over. She can't. So she's opening the door. She's looking out this way. So I'm gonna be on the, I guess, left or right side, depending on which door she's opening.
Yeah. You're able. If Ronan can swing this door open without basically annihilating it, you'll have plenty of.
Well, I'm saying, like, before she gets to the door, I want to be out of sight type thing, so I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you pulled the string yet?
Yeah, I probably should. Before,
okay.
In the same process that he's doing.
Okay. What was your strength check?
It's only a 14.
Okay. It's probably for the best. Because you're able to like, you're kind of put your hand on the door. You're holding the money, you have your hand on the door, and you kind of lean your weight into a little bit, and it's a gentle enough that like the door kind of catches a little bit as it's starting to push, and you see her kind of like, and she pulls her foot because it looks like she braced the door with her foot in case you tried to burst in, but that slow, steady 300 pounds of pressure just. And she has to like step back because her side of the physics equation is just smaller. And Thrall, you have a clear shot to the stairs. Make a stealth check. And I believe that's an advantage because you are invisible.
No, it's just regular because I'm at disadvantage because of full plate.
Yes, great. Thank you for catching
16.
That. Okay, so yeah, everyone's busy, everybody's cleaning. You do notice that there's a lot of debris and stuff like that around the room, like from cleaning and stuff like that. There's buckets and water and stuff like that, but you're able to avoid most of the wet spots, so your footprints don't show up, and you are able to make it upstairs. Where you do see some of the doors are open with people cleaning. You are hearing a couple of excited, like, gasps and shrieks as the ghost is making its way. People are starting to be like, what the hell is that? Oh God, what is it? And people are just kind of jumping it, like, kind of wigging out a little bit as the ghost just does ghosty things. But you're able to make your way to Keelik's room unbothered.
Do I see anything?
Give me investigation or investigation or perception, whichever is better for you.
17.
17. Okay. The room looks. They haven't gotten to cleaning it yet, which is lucky. But the glaive that you gave him is not here. His clothes, all of his belongings are not here. But as you're looking around, you see it. If they had gotten here first, you would have missed it. It looks like there's just a single drop of blood.
Bless you.
Outside at the base of the window. And as you start looking at the window, you see that it looks like there's 2 nail marks. Like someone was trying to grab onto the windowsill and hold on as somebody was dragging it outside.
I'm gonna go over the window.
Okay. Outside the window, it looks like you're on the 2nd floor. It looks like a pretty short drop to the ground, to to an alley next to you, and there's nobody in this alley.
Can I jump out of the window onto the ground?
Yeah, it's a short drop. You're able to like kind of hop out the window and drop down, so you are now in this alley. If you want to keep hunting, give me investigation or perception again.
That's a 21. That's a nat 20.
Oh, that's perfect. So as you're looking, you see the moonlight catches a stone. There's a scratch on one of these stones that looks probably 30 minutes old. 45. It's been like 30 minutes since you guys left, but in the time that you were there, less than 2 hours old, and it looks like something scraped against a wall. Something steel scraped against this wall on the way, leading away from the bathhouse.
Like, so the alleyway, are you saying like the alleyway goes east and west type thing, or does it go...
The alleyway runs east-west, just running sort of between some of the larger buildings on this stretch.
And you're saying which way was the scratch at?
With a 21, it looks like it's heading east, back towards like the heart of the city.
I'm gonna go that way.
Okay. So at you still invisible, and you hear Dancer go, "Well, I guess the hunt is on then." As you work your way into the darkness, at the front of the inn, Ronan, Hannah is once you kind of made your way a little more inside, and Hannah's putting most of her weight not on the foot that you shoved open, that you shoved the door into. She's like, "Buddy, 70. Here's the thing: 70 gold is too much. That's already enough to replace the door and make up for the money that you guys unfortunately cost me. If you want to do 50, I won't say no. Go up, check his room. Every other room has been, like, we're working our way through the rest of these rooms, but there is nobody here."
Okay. I'll pull out 50 gold and give it to her.
Okay. And she's like, "Okay." And the gentleman that she called Rose comes back, and he's like, "Right, you know where you're going. I'm just here in case you try to steal anything."
Well, I'm not going to. So it's your lucky day, and I'm going to start making my way that way.
Okay. You get to the room. And right as you get there, the specter floats up through the floor. Ronan, give me a investigation or perception check.
You gave me a fright.
Investigation or perception. They are both +0, so that's a 2.
It's a room. It's a nice room. You remember seeing Keelik come into this room. It smells kind of like wet fur, which is kind of on par for the bugbear. But unfortunately, it looked like all of his belongings are gone.
I'm going to swing my arms around the room and see if Thrall is in here.
Okay. Your hand does swing through the head of the specter, which doesn't seem to care.
Okay. I'm just kind of going to look around and go, well, I guess Thrall's got it, and I'm just going to leave and go back and find the rest of the group.
Okay. Robbie, what's the specter going to do?
If it hears Thrall's got it, actually, it would look for Thrall, because I said see what's up.
Okay. Can a specter find an invisible person?
Hold on, I don't think it has blind sight or dark sight, but it has dark vision
and just a decent passive perception.
Yeah. So no, it cannot find him.
It like does a look around the room, and then it kind of I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. I'm sorry. So it kind of just like, and just like floats out the window, and then down and like through a couple of walls, and the ghost actually rejoins the party before Ronan does. So Ronan, you get back to the group.
Well, I didn't find Keelik. Thrall went in all spookily, and I can't find him, so I'm assuming he is doing spooky things. So I thought I would just come back here. Also, I'm out 50 gold.
As am I. We should make some gold.
We should.
So we
This,
should just
this saving
go
the
then?
world is, or the city is a bit tight on the pockets.
I have heard it is an expensive business.
Do people say that? I'm gonna look around at the rest of the party.
I don't say that. So, shall we continue then? Onward to the explosion?
I don't think we should leave Thrall. Thalia,
fine.
can you do the talkie thing?
I can try.
See if you can get a hold of Thrall. And as she's doing that, I'm gonna look around. Are people still mad that we're there?
There's, yes, you guys are a little further away from the square, so you don't have as many people staring you down, but you do see a large, you do see some shadier figures in alleys, kind of looking you up and down, and moseying back. You have people kind of sitting on there's people sitting out, like hanging out their windowsills, just enjoying. They're awake, so they might as well enjoy the night air.
Is he within message range?
What's the range on message?
120 feet.
He's
Wait,
is that G?
how'd you talk to Ergen with 120 feet?
I did a different spell.
Oh.
2 different spells, buddy.
One is a
If you
cantrip and one is a spell.
He's moving out of range. If you, what's the normal message? 25 words.
I think so. This one doesn't have a word limit on it. Let me check sending.
Send one of them is 25. I'll give you, if you could send a message in 10 words or less.
Yeah, sending is 25. Message is. It's not.
Message is as much as you can fit in an action, I think. Technically, there's leeway.
Yeah, there's no word, but I'll do 10.
Like you could squeeze out a quick message.
Yeah. Thrall, where are you? Do we need to follow?
So Thrall, as you're moving and following, trying to track down inside of him, you hear Thalia's voice, and you're all of a sudden there's 3 people in your head, which is a weird sensation. So you get a 10-word response that gets pinged back to her, and then you'll be out of range.
May have found Keelik following now.
Okay. You have 3 words left if you want to give a direction, or if you just want to say you're on the hunt and get after it.
Well, where was the Keelik's room? Was it on the opposite side of the building? Like, did I pop out on the side of the building or the back of the building?
You popped out the side of the building. So, let me do a real quick etch-a-sketch for y'all.
If that's the case, then I want to say side of building. Whether that's my last 3. So you're gonna have to figure out which side.
You should use a light bright to make our maps.
Are you gonna buy me a light, right?
If you'll make maps out of it, yes.
Do they still make light brights?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they are super cheap. So north. This is the side of the building where you hopped out. The little dot right there is where you found the mark, and east is that way. So you are on the north side of the building, heading east. So if you said north, just like building north side or north side, it was like north side of building could be your 3 words to.
Yeah.
That's 4
Yeah, that'll work.
words.
He had 4
Building
words,
north side.
actually.
Okay, and that's the north side of building, and the building. It sounds like it's coming from really far away. because he's just basically left message range.
Okay, so he said he may have a lead on where Keelik went. North side of building. Not sure which way he's going, but he's out of range now.
Well,
How
he's
do
a
we
big
get?
boy. He can handle it himself.
How do we get to the north side of the building? Are there any alleyways that we can take to
Yep.
get there?
There's an alleyway. You will have to go back through the square to find to get there the easiest.
Like I said, he's a big boy. He can handle it himself.
What about the hardest?
The hardest way is go back to bed and wait until morning. You could with Thalia, having spent the most time here, probably out of everybody. With a quick history check, you'd be able to get to the north side of that building without going through that square.
Okay. That's a nat 1.
Can I assist her? Or
Nope.
give her my inspiration?
You should have
Nope.
inspiration, Rachel.
Hmm,
Everybody got inspiration. I don't think you burned yours yet.
I have not. Yeah, I'll burn it.
That ones are DM fuel, so that's a
That's a
wise
nat
choice.
20.
There you go.
Hey!
Perfect. So Rachel, you're like, cool. I can get us there completely undetected through a couple of alleys that nobody's gonna. This will be fine. These are the streets you walk, so you know you're going to be isolated because, as we've learned, you're by yourself. You're a likely target, so you found sneaky ways around. So with Thalia leading, you guys are able to make it to the north side of this building. If who all is looking for sign of Keelik and Thrall?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I would like to be looking for an assassin still.
Okay. Everyone who's looking for Thrall, give me perception or investigation. Everyone who's looking for an assassin, give me perception or investigation.
18.
17 investigation.
Can Cora sniff him?
Oh,
I hit the wrong
Can
Mm,
Cora
still
sniff
sucks.
him?
18.
Have Cora give him a sniff as well, if you want Cora to help.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have advantage on sniffage?
She gets advantage, yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Because she's a dog.
She's a
Yeah.
doge. Is she
She's
part
good.
bloodhound?
She's 100% wolf. I don't know what to tell you.
Her fucking modifiers are better than mine. Holy
That's because
shit.
she's better than
She
you.
has paws and
You
a
should
tail.
should be Cora and have your follower be Lythar.
I really should, because guess what? She got
She
another
crits?
fucking nat 20.
So that's what, three crits so far. 2 of them are on a follower, on an NPC. Things are going
how's
great.
Erky doing?
Hmm?
How's Erky doing?
Oh, Erky's die is the only one that performs anymore. So Cora, everybody, like, after a little bit of looking around, you guys do spot the scratch, and Cora is able to get her nose on it and sniff around the alley, and she points due east. And she is dimming down to a low glow. She kind of she is looking dead up this alleyway.
I'm
turn
gonna
around, look at the party and just go, let's go.
I'm gonna ready one of my small javelins and my hook chain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I summoned my sword when we were walking away
Yep.
from.
Already weapons as well.
So, Thrall, give me, because you're tracking now. Give me, is your survival better than your investigation or perception?
Yes.
Then give me a survival check.
Another nat 20. 23.
What is happening? So you're walking and you and Dancer are moving in sync. You feel as you're looking in, you feel like there's somebody walking and working with you, trying to find what the hell's going on. And you keep walking and walking and walking, and you see what looks like a furry paw print, or what looks like a bare footprint that's a little too rough around the edges to be just a bare child's foot. And you see there are boot prints tracking over it. At this point, you've only gone maybe 3 blocks, and you're just keep working your way, and you keep finding little things. And some Dancer is pointing out, being, look at how you're looking for like the physical tracks, but Dancer is pointing out, like, look how no one's going down this alley. And you go into that alley and you find a tuft of fur caught in a cobblestone. You and Dancer are working together to try and follow this trail. And after continuing to move through this city, you come to an alley, and the last sign looks like something has been dragged through the mud into this alley. And the only light in this alley is coming straight down from the moon. And you see in this alley, there's just some garbage, some leaves and debris, and you see what looks like a little girl kind of standing in the alley, and she's like, "What, mister, what can I do, mister?" And you hear just like, "Help would be nice. Ow." And the girl's like, help, I can get help. And she turns and sprints towards you. What do you do?
I am going to move out of the way.
Okay. So you see this girl take off. And when she gets out in the street and the streetlight hits her face, you see the same girl that Lamy paid off. The girl that stood up to Lamy in the square. And she doesn't have that same swagger anymore. She looks like a scared kid. And she just runs off into the street. She's not screaming for help, but she's running somewhere. So now it's just you and the voice in the alley.
I'm going... Well, how dark is it? Because technically I should be able to see.
You can... sorry,
is it further than 60 feet, or...
You can, with the light that's happening, you can see it looks like a figure resting on a pile of just like debris, some like newspaper, like paper clippings, just kind of trash, and there's just it looks like something's just been dumped there.
I'm gonna go up to it.
And as you get closer, you see through a very, very heavily bruised face, black eye, split lip. It looks like he's had 7 shades of hell beat out of him. Is Keelik, just kind of sprawled on his back, looking up at the moon. And he goes, Thrall? I think I can smell the soap. Is that you?
I want to come out of invisibility and say, you don't smell too bad yourself.
And he kind of lifts up his head, and yeah, his left eye is just completely swollen over. He goes, I'm sure I smell better than I look.
What happened?
I should have locked the window. I'm not used to having windows. Can you believe it?
You were on the second floor.
Yeah. That was also a neat thing. You know, it's the first time I've been in a place with more than one story. Flops his head back down in the looking up at the moon.
So what happened? Did people take you? What?
Yeah. To put it none too politely.
Well, what was the point? All they did, it looks like they just beat you up and left you here.
Yeah, he kind of lifts up his head a little bit, but it doesn't come quite up as far up as it did last time. He goes, the girl's not around, is she?
No.
Well, that seems to be what they wanted. The names they were calling me kind of, I don't think they wanted to do anything but hurt me. And with as many of them as there were, as many boots as they had, it was kind of easy.
Do you remember what they looked like at all?
Just look like people.
And can you move? Can we pick you up?
Well, I can kind of. He's like, help me stand up. We'll go from there.
I'm gonna help him stand up.
He gets up and he's not putting a lot of weight on his feet, but it looks like he's able to move his fingers and toes, and he's like, well, I think I can walk, but I was too excited about the window. He's like, oh, where is it? Oh no, where is it? Where's the weapon? Where's the glaive you gave me?
Did they take it?
He's kind of he moves quickly under his own power. It's the fastest you've seen him move, and he's like, and he's looking around for it, and you see it. You're looking around, and Dancer just goes, there, and it's like it's highlighted for you underneath what looks like a pile of logs or like boards from a construction project, like it was hidden there.
I'm gonna pick it up and kind of just stand it up and tell him to grab onto that.
And he takes it in both hands, and he's like, thanks. And you hear Dancer go, let him hold me for just a second. I can help. If he lets me.
Keelik knows that I can communicate with the sword, right? There's Keelik.
So from your previous discussion, he knows there's an entity inside the sword, and that it drove you to do things. He does whether or not, so he knows that you can communicate with the entity inside. If you remember, he called you an Ichik, a man with the demon inside him, a demon of his own to fight. And he doesn't really trust the sword. He also did say that if you killed an innocent, you'd have to kill him next.
Well, I'm gonna tell him that the sword would like to help him if he would hold it for a second.
Give me a persuasion check. But add your wisdom to it because your charisma is a -1. Your wisdom modifier is a +1.
+0.
Plus 0. Okay. When you roll, add 3 instead of your -1 to the charisma mod.
That is a 15.
Okay. Okay. And Keelik very warily goes, why does it want to help? Did it find me or did you find me?
We both. Without her help, we probably wouldn't have found you.
Well, distrust is a demon I'll have to fight on my own. And he holds out. He's leaning heavily on the staff with one hand, and he holds out his hand, palm up in the other.
Does he just need to hold it, or does he just need to touch the handle, essentially?
You're not sure.
Well, I'm gonna hold it and let him grab the butt end of it.
Okay. As his hand settles on the pommel, the darkness in the blade looks like it starts to shift, and it's very similar to when you drew blood with it and the blood basically looked like it sank into the depths of the sword. That depth is starting to roil, and it's actually the darkness is starting to shift its way to the pommel, and you see Keelik just he pulls his hand away, and you can see that the damage on his knuckles is starting to heal. The cuts are starting to close, and his lip, you literally watch the split in his lip just reseal. And he's like, that was okay. I shouldn't get used to that. He's able to stand up a little bit straighter as he kind of stands up. He's still putting a lot of his weight on the glaive. He goes, we should find the others.
Let's go back the way we came.
After you.
Just start. I'll just walk next to him, but kind of lead, not directly in front.
Yep, he's like a step behind. He's a step behind you and a step to the right as you guys walk. And the rest of you, as you are walking, you're combined with Kora's nat 20. You guys are on that scent. You are tracking that down, and you actually, as you guys are crossing, you see. You're coming in out of an alley onto a main street with well lit with streetlights, and you see coming out of the shadows Thrall and Keelik. And Keelik looks like he, instead of having 7 shades of hell beat out of him, he's down to about 5. He's not looking too swell, but he's moving more or less under his own power. And he's across he's across the street from you guys. And you're walking towards each other.
I found Keelik.
What happened?
And Keelik kind of looks up at you, Thrall, and goes, I could tell him if you want.
I mean, other than you being taken, I don't know what happened.
And he kind of keeps hobbling towards the center. He's like, the long and short of it is they saw something they didn't like and basically yanked me out of a 2nd-story window and kicked the snot out of me onto wherever they wanted to take me, dumped me on the ground, beat me up some more, and left me there.
What he said.
Well, that's rude.
rude were the things that they were calling me that I will not repeat in front of polite company. It kind of it's a very wry smile that looks like it hurts a little more than it helps. But he kind of a wry smile and a quick kind of head down, kind of glances over at Thalia. He goes, I am assuming that I'm not welcome here.
I don't think any of us are.
I was gonna walk
I
over
do.
cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. How many hit points is that?
700.
I
He's got armor.
He's able to kick over a building.
Turns into the Path of the Beast, Bugbarian.
That is 15.
Okay. So again, that, and he kind of looks at his hands and blinks a little, and then he looks up and gives you a genuine smile, Thalia, that doesn't look like it hurts at all. Thank you for being as kind as you are. But we should probably keep moving.
Before we run, can I like put my arm out and say like I'm going for like those man shakes where you grab like the forearms? Yeah,
The warrior's handshake.
I'm gonna put my hand out and I'm just gonna be like, we're never gonna let that happen again. And I'm hoping this man bear pig is gonna do this back.
The puppy monkey baby.
So real quick. So he kind of takes the glaive, just still using it as a walking stick, walks over and looks. Before he approaches you, he holds out his hand in a loose fist to Cora to give it a sniff. And she kind of gives him a sniff, looks up at him, and kind of like nuzzles the hand.
Yay, more friends. She hates
And then he gives you the handshake. He goes, you know, in my culture, you make a promise like that, and if you don't keep it, you die. Just a thought.
I'll just look him dead in the eyes and just go,
Well, I'll hold you to that then.
all right,
And
guys, don't fail me now.
I think that is an excellent time to go to break.
Yay.
So everybody take a 10. Thank you.
I don't
Take
know
a
if
chill,
you saw my
take
chat.
a breath. I did see the message.
Fuck you. Fuck you. For a fucking NPC, I'm over here like, oh my god.
Take it. So yeah,
I think that would have taken a lot longer if I didn't crit 2 times in a row.
It's like, oh god, are we gonna find Keelik dead in a alley? I was like,
with 2 crits, you made up a lot of time.
20 and 20. Oh,
I
Keelik
have
would
to
have been
admit,
rough shape.
I feel even worse about all this because I didn't even think about Keelik.
Yep.
Like, we were all leaving, and then you were just like, you're missing one. And I was like, who the fuck are we missing? And I still didn't know. And then you were like, Keelik's not there. And I was
It's
like,
hard
oh
to keep
my
track
god.
of all the people.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Brandon, louder for the people in the back.
I mean, I can only imagine how hard it is for the DM, but
That's why I have the poker chips. They are in front of me, and I have them like when you guys are like, I'm gonna go with this person. I'm like moving them around in pairs so I know who is where.
I only remembered, like, the main reason I remembered is because Curtis and I were actually talking about Keelik last night about some random obscure thing. And so I was like, Curtis, what? What are you doing to Keelik after we just had a conversation?
I'm making sure everyone else remembers him. So, welcome back. Everybody good? We all all right? Everyone okay?
I'm good. Are you
kind
good?
of ish. Not really, but
I'm not okay.
I got
Yeah.
cashews. So now I'm eating cashews.
so while Chris is eating cashews, You guys are now in a main street, a little closer to Scholar's Walk than you were previously. You guys have reconvened. You have all 38 of your party members. And what would y'all like to do?
I feel like we need to move towards the purple haze.
What time is it getting to be?
Purple haze.
It is approaching. It's probably like 3:15 in the morning. It is early.
Does anyone believe that Adam could potentially shelter us?
I mean, you have rooms there. If we're still worried about the guard, I could go talk to the mayor.
It may be advisable. I believe having one less party asking where we are, or trying to bring us in, will allow us to move more freely.
He may have details about Ergen, but it's a bit of a stretch.
I will go with you. I believe we should figure out all information.
I will also go.
So some people maybe try to lay low, get some sleep, heal up.
Yeah, just as an outside, how long have we all been awake thus far?
With you guys are pushing 18 hours.
Yeah, we're pushing exhaustion at this point.
You guys, yeah. If depending on how things go, this
We took baths.
yes, the baths are not a substitute for 8 hours of sleep. Despite what several branches of the armed services will tell you, a cold shower does not solve all your problems.
It may, though.
So if you guys hit 24 hours without sleep, you will suffer. All of you will suffer a level of exhaustion, which is exhaustion. Let me just make sure.
No bueno, essentially.
Correct.
First point should be everything is basically one at disadvantage.
All ability checks are made at disadvantage. Not attacks. That is at level 3. If you hit level 6 exhaustion, you die.
Bad times.
Bad times. Death is usually a bad time.
Boy, no bueno.
So
Some of us can come back.
so with that information, with the information that you guys have, who is going where, or is everyone going to talk to the mayor?
Mayor than that.
I'm going to the explosion.
Mayor the nap.
I feel like finding Ergen should be our top priority.
I'm going to the explosion.
He's done too much for us to leave him out in the open, or to leave him.
I do like the idea of just going to Ergen. Besides,
gonna
how
take
many
us 6
guards even
hours.
saw us? Like 3, maybe.
Maybe they don't even remember us.
Maybe.
Can I imitate that wolfish?
Even
Well,
if they do remember,
wolfish-
the gods are no threat to us.
Wolfish. I'm just gonna say it. Wolfish grin that Ergen gave me. But I'm gonna do that to the party, and I'm just gonna do that same grin and be like, "We find Ergen."
Cora
So for the
has
explosion we go.
Cora has a very similar smile on her face, and it looks natural on her. It looks predatory on Lythar in the good, scary, glad he's on your team kind of way. So you all are headed to the explosion because that was the.
Keelik, are you up? What are you up for?
We could just leave him here.
In the middle of the street?
What could go wrong? We
May I
left
just
Robbie in the
give-
middle
give-
of the street, and he found assassins.
I'm gonna give Lami a big old glare. I need
I'll
to
be
turn down
fine with a
Groovy.
good walk.
We're not leaving him here.
Wait, Lami wants to leave Keelik here?
Because he's a dick.
Oh, I'm just gonna dart my eyes towards him.
Just
like,
don't like Keelik. He's really good at running away.
Keelik just very calmly looks at Thalia and is like, I would be fine with a walk, but I can't argue with a nap. When we get there. Maury's right, Ergen. We owe Ergen a little too much to leave that unanswered. And maybe the mayor has some answers. And we're all going the same way anyway.
How awful does Keelik look?
He's down to 3 shades of hell as opposed to the 5 he was at. Right now he just looks like he's been working. Like he looks tired and like he fell down a pretty hefty hillside. But he's walking better. He's still using the glaive for support. But that's mostly just like so he can save energy for walking.
Okay.
Keelik and Keelik looks to Thrall and goes, "Where you go, I follow."
Where you go, I follow.
It's a Gilmore Girls quote, just saying.
Fun fact, bugbears have amazing reception, but only for ABC shows. I don't even know if Gilmore Girls is on ABC, but that's the joke. Anyway.
You're gonna upset some Gilmore Girls fans if it's
Oh,
on.
yes. The one Gilmore Girls fan who watches the show.
Wait a minute!
I enjoy Gilmore Girls.
You're in the show. Anyway, so back on track.
Wait, me or Chris?
Back on track. So you guys are all going towards the source of the explosion, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thalia's like peer pressure.
Because the source of the explosion is in the upper crust, which is on the way to the mayor's estate. So you would be able to get there without too much trouble. As you guys are walking, real quick, are you sticking to alleys or to main roads?
Alleys.
Main roads.
And that there is the party in a nutshell. I'm gifting that and saving it. So every time this shit happens, I just post it. Sorry. Where are y'all going?
I mean, I feel like main roads would have more foot traffic, so we could blend in better. People in alleys in the back of the night are probably sketchy people.
It's 3 in the morning. Who's in the middle of the street?
I stand directly.
Are you
in
scared
front
of shady
Ronan
people?
Stand directly in
And
front of who?
stare.
Hold on, Crosstalk Mike was saying something.
I stand directly in front of Ronan and stare the extra 2 feet above me that he is, and just go, I believe we stick out. Just a little.
You have a solid point.
And he's got a ghost.
I vote alley.
I vote main
Alley.
streets.
All for alley, raise your hand.
Bye.
All for main streets, raise your hand.
Fuck you, Lami.
Well, I'll see you when I get there. Quicker than you, then.
You
Are you
know,
going off on your own?
Doesn't sound smart, but I kind of want to.
You absolutely can.
God damn.
I'm taking the main streets.
Okay.
son of a bitch.
So Lami turns
Son of a bitch.
and walks off.
I follow him.
We may have to rescue them later.
My friend,
I continue in the alley.
he has an assassin after him. I can't just let him walk down the street.
You think I can't deal with an assassin?
No, I don't.
Bicker, 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 bicker as they walk down the street. Is anyone else going with them?
I am going to send Philo up into the air and kind of like follow them.
Philo?
Philo.
That's amazing.
I send the ghost directly behind.
Okay, so
So 2 giant dudes and 2 spoopy dudes.
a
What a
floating
combo.
a floating eyeball, an assassin's ghost, a fully kitted paladin, and this sounds like the setup of a joke. Anyway. So the rest of you are sticking to the alleys. And everyone who's in the alley, give me stealth checks at advantage. Everyone walking down the main street, if you want to not be spotted, give me stealth checks at disadvantage.
Oh, I'm just walking.
I'll just walk. There's no point.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Finally, Lythar did something.
At advantage for the alley, right?
At advantage for the alley.
Disadvantage for the not alley.
Correct.
14.
Dirty 20.
17.
14.
15.
Okay. Lythar, how'd you do?
I got 2 people. I got 4 rolls. All right, I got a.
Oh no, not 4 whole
It's a lot
rolls.
of math for me.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
and
sorry
it's
that
different
he's
modifiers.
sorry
All right?
he's not the angriest loot goblin that ever attacked somebody.
So me, Lythar, not Cora, got a nat 20, but she got a 23. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What did Frank get?
Oh shit.
So Lythar,
shit.
you and Cora are sneaking. You find a couple of alleyways. Thalia, you're getting closer to the center. You're approaching the central square and like working that area you know better from your time at the Brotherhood. And you recognize these alleys. Lythar and Cora, you guys, Cora actually does it first. She jumps up on the roof. She nimbles her bimble and is up on the roof, and she kind of looks down at you, kind of like does that dog thing where like one ear is perked up and the other one's kind of like with the head tilt, and then scampers off while still running on top of the roof.
Am I joining her? Can I?
Up to
join
you.
her?
Yeah, with a 20 on stealth, I would let you climb that without making
I'll
a
do
ruckus.
that as long as we don't stray too far away from the people down below.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's pacing like right along the eaves, but she's basically keeping pace with the rest of the group, but up in the air.
Yeah, I'll join
What
her.
did Frank get?
You got a 9.
Okay. Luckily, the servos are a little loud. You should probably. Frank sounds like he might need an oiling and he might need an oil bath and something to take care of the noise. But as you guys are strolling, you are hearing as you get closer and start working your way to the upper crust. Yes, it's taking longer, but you guys are able to hear guard patrols coming. And press yourself up into the alleyways or take a break down a side alley, and avoid. Thalia, knowing this part of the city, this is pretty active for this time of night, which makes sense considering all of the events in the last 6 hours. It's been a busy day. The 2 living and 2 less living individuals walking down the street. Lami, you're not trying to duck out of the way of anything?
Nope.
Cool.
I am walking.
I am.
You're ducking out of the way of stuff?
Yeah, I had a 14.
Okay. So Lami is just strolling right along in his armor. Ronan, you're a little further behind and kind of like a little further off to the edge of the street, able to duck into an alley or into a doorway, a pretty big doorway, but you keep finding these spots. And you notice that there looks like to be a floating eye following you. Unless, actually, Maury, is it, did you have your, follow a certain target, or is it just following the group?
I'm gonna have it follow Chris.
Okay, so you notice that there is an eye hovering about 2 feet above you and about 3 feet back. So if you can reach it, if this was a video game, this is where the third person camera is. So you stop and you reach up and poke at it, but it keeps that spacing. And it kind of just kind of shifts around out of the way as it's keeping an eye on you.
Quick
That's
question.
weird.
Yes.
Can I see them in the main roads now that I'm up higher? No?
If you're
Sorry,
sticking
I'm on the roof.
if you're sticking close to the group, you could break off of the group to go check in on them. But from where you're at, if you're staying close to the group up on the eaves, that's gonna be you're not gonna be able to break away because they are a couple of streets over
Okay.
with the
I was-
alleys and
I was
stuff
just
you've been going
curious.
through. Robbie, is your specter following anyone in particular, or is it just hanging out?
So the exact words I would have said to it are follow and protect the dragon. So it will, to the letter, follow and mimic Lami. So it is just right next to him and not even trying to hide.
Yeah. Can I tweak that a little bit so it's directly behind him?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, as Lami turns a corner, it's matching like footstep for footstep and like arm motions and everything. If you got a quick glance, it would look like this dragon has like an after image, but he's moving at a regular walking pace, so it just looks weird. It's not quite as cool as it would be if he was sprinting, but there's still this dragon moseying with this blue specter right behind him.
I hate droids.
Finally, not a hello there quote.
Yeah, different Star Wars
Holy
joke.
Shit,
33 episodes in and we get a different gag. So the rest, as you guys are walking, Ronan, because you're trying to be sneaky, you think you hear clank, 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 clank of a large group of what's probably a guard patrol. You've seen one or two through alleys on different side roads, but this main road, like you're hearing one coming. It sounds like it's gonna come across the main road.
He's gonna go,
Lami,
Lami,
come here.
What do you want?
Come here.
Back towards you.
Yeah, I want to tell you what the cube is.
Okay.
Come here.
I'm gonna walk over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna
If
like
he doesn't,
duck
please
out,
grapple him.
like try to get off of the road a little bit, and I'm just gonna be like, and I'm gonna start like explaining. Are the guards like coming by yet?
So the guards, as you duck him. Cool. So as you hear the clunk, clunk, and it's getting louder, and you actually see what looks like torchlight coming into that alley, and you're able to pull, like, you duck into an alley, and you're able to pull Lami inside, like pull him a little further into the alley, and as you're beginning to like, what are you saying to him as like the guards are going by?
So, the cube I gave you is a Cyclops cube. Do you know what a Cyclops is?
It's got one big eyeball, right?
Yeah, it has one big eyeball, but it's really big. And I think if we were ever going to use it, we should throw it at something very big. You know, like get the most bang for our buck, if you get my drift.
I mean, we don't even know if these really work.
Wasn't I there when Robbie threw the cube? Because I
were
just
leaving
jumped
torches.
in. Oh, yeah.
You were
Yep.
with me.
You were leaving the torches for
Yeah. Well, we don't know how they work, but I'm sure once we meet up with Robbie, we could ask him. It's a robot thing. He's a robot. There's a 6 in 12 chance that he knows what it is.
That's pretty good odds. if
That
you ask me.
is, that is.
That's quite a few. That's way better than 5 out of 10.
It is. It is bigger numbers.
people. So Ronan, at this point, before you make every math teacher who watches this have a conniption, you do notice at this point that the patrol has gone by. And you would be able to safely make your way, continue to make your way forward.
So all I'm saying is we find Robbie, we figure out how to use them, and then if we ever fight something big, then we can throw that at it, and then we can just watch them fight, and it would be cool. Who doesn't want to watch big things fight?
Like that tree that chased us in the forest. That would be
Yes,
cool.
we could throw it at the tree.
I think we've got a plan.
I think so too, and I'm just gonna put my arm around him and start walking out into the street.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are just gonna keep making your way to the site of the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Give me another round of stealth checks, please, everybody.
While we're walking,
Alley people in.
Yeah, same rolls as before. What were you
while
saying,
we're
Rachel?
walking, can I be looking for Ergen's shadows?
Give me a perception check.
Is this at advantage again?
Yes. Oh my god, you people are monsters.
18 for the stealth, and then perception.
Same.
That's a
Every
7.
single one of you. Goddamn.
Nope, that's an 8.
It's an 8. Robbie, also give me a perception check.
That's regular, right?
Regular.
Straight.
Yep, straight perception.
Mike, I like your plants.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was my quarantine project.
Ooh. I'll have to share pictures of my girlfriends and my plants. Most of our living room is full of plants. It's getting a little out of hand.
I got a bunch you cannot see, and I started working on some flowers that I'm really proud of. So yeah, let's trade some plant pics.
Let's trade some plant pics. Anywho, sorry.
People showing off their roots. This is getting weird.
15. Sorry.
15?
Yeah.
So,
we like plants.
And actually, Lythar, as you are on the roof, give me a perception check.
Do shadows smell?
What'd you get, Lythar? I'm sorry?
My perception?
Yes.
16.
Okay. So, as Robbie... Robbie, you had an 18?
Perception was 15.
15,
yeah.
Okay. 15. So Lythar, you notice it first. As you guys are running across the roofs, there's a clump of darkness that the moonlight doesn't get rid of. That's the only good way to describe it, is there's a piece of darkness that keeps being one roof ahead of you and doesn't dissipate with the moonlight. It's subtle. It's really hard to spot, but it looks like it's just staying one roof ahead of you.
Can I see through it?
Robbie. So it's staying one ahead of you, and then you get to a wider street, and it looks like it just pours off the side of the building, and just like liquid. Robbie, you see, it looks like a gymnast. Like someone just swan dove off a roof, hit the ground, became flat, and then sprang back up incredibly gracefully, all in this tucked in alley, like this weird alcove between these buildings. And Thalia, you notice Robbie's looking at something. He's staring very intently at this corner. And a figure, to everyone down here's surprise, a figure steps out. Dressed in pitch black leathers.
Wait, do our stealth rolls not matter?
They do. This individual has been tailing you.
Okay.
The stealth rolls are mostly to stay ahead of the guards and the guard patrols. And the street light is the light in this street is very dim. And Thrall, you actually see the figure once the figure becomes fully looks like a humanoid. Dancer goes, "What's that?" And you get that same outline. You see basically like a chalk outline of this person, this glowing outline, and it steps forward out of the shadows, hands up, in just dark leathers and goes, I found you. Thank goodness.
Is Ergen okay?
I should let the mayor explain. Will you come with me?
Thalia starts to follow.
Hello, Robbie. It's lovely to see you again.
Hello. And I will hand him a beer.
The shadow goes, do you have anything darker?
I pull out an inkwell.
Perfect. Thank you. And it puts in his hand, and like it doesn't look like he puts it in a pocket. He just kind of waved his hand and it went away. He's like, for those of you, I understand that not everyone. I haven't met everyone yet, but I promise, Ergen sent me. I'm here to help.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes.
Allegedly.
What's the swan dude doing that?
I believe we are. Sorry.
So Kendrick, the guy who did who dove off.
Yeah.
This is him.
Oh, that is. I was thinking it was
like,
the opposite side of the building.
He swan dived like off the roof, hit the ground, and it when normally like a gymnast would tumble to turn that momentum, he just kind of went he is
Blubbered
darkness. And Cora was like just as surprised as you are to see a person step out of a shadow that is too small for a human being to fit in. And this figure is fully like cowled up. And you cannot see, you can see, just make out his eyes, but there is very little going on, like, on the face of this person.
Thalia, are we supposed to trust this guy? Who is this?
This is an associate of Ergen, correct?
Ergen's employer is a rather impersonal way of putting it, but he is he's my boss.
I believe that a number of our members are currently walking open on the street. They are headed towards where the explosion was. They will need to be collected.
Very good. I will send assets to intercept.
Do not startle the ghost.
I'll let them know.
Boo.
Is Ronan within 120 feet?
If you know where the main road is, if you sprinted down the street, if you at a dead run ran 2 blocks, you'd be in range to send him a message. However,
Are they within 120 feet?
That's yeah.
I think it's the same range for
I got you.
for both of you.
I thought you said 20. Bad.
Send the chicken.
But no, so if you sprinted down the street, the lit part of the street, you could get there. You may draw attention to yourself. Because as you guys have gotten closer to the source of the explosion, the guard patrols are getting much, much heavier.
Can you get a note to them? Whoever intercepts.
A physical note or a message of any other kind?
A message would do.
Okay. What would you like?
Oh boy.
Perhaps we are a little short on time. Is there an object I could show?
Oh, Yeah. And I will give him my flute.
Okay.
Or actually, my
also-
chant. I'll give him my chanter for my
Okay.
bagpipe.
I hand over a tankard from the long pike in.
Okay. And he's like, all right. And he kind of crosses his arms, and the objects just disappear as he's standing there with his arms crossed. He goes, I'll make sure they receive these. We have little time. Come with me. And he turns and walks across the street. And there's an open manhole cover. He goes, I understand this is not the entrance you wanted, and this is upsetting, but this is the best way to make it in.
No more poop. Does he even know I'm on the roof? Is he that badass that he just knows and he's ignoring me?
He knows you're on the roof because he was keeping ahead of you.
Oh, right. God damn. Alright. I guess I'll jump down then. Like, get down to where everyone else is.
He's like, I apologize for this being less than ideal. We can find an alternate route if you would like. But this is the safest way we have.
Time is of the essence, and Thalia will
Jump right in.
jump right in.
Okay. As anyone else have anything to say to the gentleman before they hop in?
Nope.
I'll just follow.
I kind of look at him and in Elvish say that's life and jump down.
I'll chuckle, I guess, because I forgot Robbie's C-3PO.
Included thrilling forms of communication, including kicking your ass. So, Lythar, as you approach the hole, the individual reaches out and touch it. He doesn't grab your arm, but he puts his hand on it, and it feels like your arm is just cooler all of a sudden. And he goes, and he says to you in Elvish, "Good choice to get on the roof. You almost had me there for a second. I'm not used to seeing a moon spirit running around in my city."
I'm just gonna do that wolfish grin again, and I hope Cora, since she just got comment, she's gonna be like,
She kind of has her nose in the air and is like, she sits and she does that really pretty sit where like her paws are just so, and she's like, and then she jumps down into the manhole as well.
I'll like grab his arm and let him like help me in. Then
when you grab his arm, it's like a trick of the light. Your hand, it doesn't feel like either he's not all there or there's something around him. Your hand, you have to sink your hand a little deeper into where his arm would be before you find something to grab onto.
What the hell? Josh isn't liking any of this, by the way. I'm seeing these facial expressions. He's not a fan.
Brandon, anything you would like to do or say before you jump in the hole?
Main Street.
Nope, just gonna jump in the hole.
Okay. As you walk past him, you hear Dance go, "Oh, that's a neat trick." I think we can do better.
I told you, Main Street. Main Street.
Meanwhile, on the basically on Fifth Avenue, because I'm not giving you this. I'm not saying
Did
giving you
Keelik
satisfaction.
come with us?
Yes, I'm sorry. Keelik is with you. Damn it.
We must always talk with you.
Keelik is actually being helped by this man.
Okay.
like this man is helping him like get down this ladder, because he's been walking fine, he's been moving pretty well. Ladders were not something he was expecting on this trip, and so it's taken him a while to work his way down.
We lost Keelik once, so now every time we're now going to look for Keelik.
Good. That means you learned your lesson. Anyway, so back on Fifth Avenue, as y'all are moseying, you both hear another guard patrol approaching. This one is loud and these have gotten much heavier as you're moving up towards the scene of this explosion, and now you're starting to see all of the buildings around you are illuminated with this weird purple light. It's flat. Everything looks very flat in this light. It looks like it's coming from everywhere.
I'm just kind of gonna try to lead Lami towards the side of the road.
No. I've got this. Don't worry.
Lami, come on now. The goal is to beat the other party there, not to get caught up with the guards. Do you want to get there first, or do you want to get there last?
We'll beat them if we don't get sidetracked. Don't worry about it.
If seeing the guards is getting sidetracked.
I can talk my way out of this just fine. Don't worry.
No. We're going over there. I gave you a cube. It was my favorite cube.
Fine. This time we will hide. Next time,
okay.
I'll talk my way out of this.
Okay, deal. Is there a place to hide?
You're able to, basically, like you basically just have to duck into a doorway and not move for a couple of minutes. It's a little weird because Lami, when you get you're just like you're leaning up against the doorway, and the spirit is still directly behind you, and it is kind of phased into the wall, but it pokes its head out every once in a while, and you're just like, you're looking at the guards, you're like kind of acting casual for a guy in full plate out for a 3 a.m. stroll, and all of a sudden this ghost head just
I'm gonna blow at it. I'm gonna pull a Gimli.
Philo has ducked herself into just in like the upper corner of the lintel, and is still keeping an eye on all the happenings. And you see a very large patrol of guards go by. This patrol looks like it has. Do you remember when the building burned down? The first building, the warehouse that you guys found, and there was the one night was a gnome in what looked like some sort of mechanical suit.
Oh.
There are 4 of those, 2 at the front and 2 of the back, escorting this group, and they are larger than the men that are walking with them. These things stand about 7 feet tall and about probably 4 or 5 feet wide. These are broad. They don't look like the unit that was sent to capture Thalia and Robbie, but there are large constructs walking with them, and you can see from the light of the torchlight, it looks like glass or some kind of clear material is covering the gnomish pilot inside. And they're walking perfectly in step with all of the guards with them as they're beginning to move, as they're continuing their patrol.
How far away are they? Have they passed us?
As they are making their way out, they are crossing perpendicular to you. So you are on the main street, and they're mostly sticking to like side roads. But they are moving pretty regularly now. But now they're probably about 100 feet down one of the alleyways, or down the side street.
Ronan, these are not normal city guards.
That's what I was telling you, to not talk to them.
I mean, I could talk to normal city guards, but I don't know what those big things are.
Those are different city guards.
No, I don't think they're city guards at all, and I don't think it'd be wise of us to trust anybody, including the mayor at this point.
Why wouldn't we trust the mayor? The mayor is friends with Ergen. We're looking for Ergen, so therefore finding the mayor might find Ergen.
I just have a feeling. That's all.
Your other feeling was to take a bath.
Oh, it's a good bath. It's a
Keelik
great
almost
bath.
died. I know you don't like Keelik.
Well, that's Keelik's fault, obviously.
You get my point.
And you get mine. I don't trust the mayor.
Well, I do. For the moment. I'll consider not trusting him, though. Have the guards gone by yet?
Yeah, the guards have made their cycle.
Onwards!
Before, as you're like, let's go, you hear a, excuse me. I couldn't help but overhear.
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from, so there's the side street they just crossed. It sounds like it's coming from a doorway just near that side street. A kind of shadowy doorway. And, sorry, go ahead.
I pull out my sword.
The ghost is immediately in front of Lami.
I just look at whatever, wherever the voice came from, and I'm swatting at the ghost just to try and get it to go away.
Master Ronan, Master Lami, I'm sorry to have startled you like this. But the mayor would like to see you. And stepping out of this doorway is Gerard.
Gerard?
No offense, Gerard, but I don't think I would like to see the mayor.
I'm gonna run over to Gerard.
Shush.
Why does the mayor want to see us?
It's about Ergen.
What about Ergen?
Is he dead? Is he alive?
You
Is
were
he
the last people to
purple
see
mist?
him alive.
So you haven't seen him alive?
You were the last ones who saw him.
So that would mean that you haven't seen him.
That's correct.
Ah.
How? This is... No, we haven't seen him, and this is... Look, I'm a butler. I serve drinks and food, and this is not my expertise. This isn't what I do.
You serve very
And
good drinks.
Why should I trust you at all?
Because your friends do. And he's like, I can prove it. And he reaches into, he kind of pats he pats around in his coat and he goes, here, and he pulls out a tankard and a long piece of wood that looks like it has finger holes on it. Ronan, you recognize Thalia's chanter.
I grab it.
And Lami, you recognize the long pike emblazoned on the side of this tankard.
Those idiots.
They're being taken to the mayor through the sewers.
And I think that's probably the last place we would want to go.
If our friends are there, then we should go there in case they... If you are right, Lami, we should go.
I'm always right.
Are you, though?
Most of the time.
Like,
Sometimes.
6 out of 12 times, you're right.
Look, we need to go. Ronan, if you want to come with me, I can take you. Lami, I can't force you to come. However, I feel like you should know that other people are looking for you besides anyone who wants to do you harm. I got a
What do
very.
they want to do to me then?
They want to take their armor back.
Why?
Bartholomew. The shadows told me that Bartholomew got word of 2 knights in armor walking into a less than pristine place
Well, we
in
just
the Greymire.
we were there for a bath.
Sure, that's fine. They have a few hundred years of reputation to protect. I want to get you off the street before Bartholomew comes and tries to take the armor back.
Do you
Because
have more armor at the mayor's house?
Do we? Yes. Will the mayor give it to you? I'm not sure.
What if we ask really nicely?
That's up to him, and he's not in the best of moods. Now, come on, we need to go.
Lawmate, let's go
And
get you new armor.
You start to hear chung, 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 chung coming down the street. The same alley that they just came through a couple of minutes ago. Following the same patrol.
I'll come with you.
6 out of 12. That's what I like to hear.
As much as I don't want to.
All right, let's go.
And he points. He goes, they told me this would work.
What?
And he points into this shadowy recess in the doorway. He goes, it's right through here.
I keep my sword drawn, but I go through there.
I walk through the doorway.
It's not like it's weird because it's not the doorway. The door is solid, but in the corner where the door jamb and the door meet, there's this triangle of shadows. And as you walk towards it, it looks like it just kind of, and you walk into it, and it's like walking into a pitch black room. And there's this feeling of moving incredibly quickly, but not taking, you're not running. Just every step feels like it's taking you hundreds of feet. And you step through the other side, and you're in a somewhat familiar sight of the sewers. Another cistern. This one has a ladder on the north wall, and you can hear the sounds of some very familiar footsteps, a dog panting, some robots walking, and around the corner is a man dressed fully in black, with only his eyes visible, and the skin around his eyes has been charcoaled pitch black. As he's walking forward again, and he sees you, and he goes, "Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Gerard. I'm sorry we couldn't have sent one of our regulars to go pick them up, but you've performed exemplary." And Gerard is coming through at the tail end of everything, and he picks up he reaches down onto the floor and picks up what looks like a black cloth, and he's holding it with just his finger and thumb and hands it back and goes, it gives me the willies every time I have to do that. The gentleman just kind of laughs under his cowl and goes, "Hopefully you won't have to do it too much longer. But thank you again. Lami, Ronan, it's a pleasure to meet you."
Who are you?
Who are you? Where'd you come from? Where are you going?
Ergen was my employer.
Was?
I'll let the mayor explain. It's not my place. He kind of gestures to the ladder, if you don't mind.
Did you tell them that we were the last ones to see Jurgen alive?
Gerard is just like, and the figure in black just turns his head, and Gerard's like, "It's the only way I could get the dragon to stop talking long enough to get him in the shadow." And the shadow kind of... Well, I guess that's out of the bag. You all were the last ones to see Ergen alive.
I suppose we were.
Including us.
And now I suppose you want information.
No. We're doing this.
Who are you?
We're doing this for the mayor. The mayor will explain what he sees fit, and you can ask him all your questions then.
But if
I
you
don't
worked
like
for
that.
Ergen, why are you now doing this for the mayor? We want to find Ergen, and you're taking us to the mayor. Why don't we go find Ergen and then talk to the mayor?
Because the mayor wants... The mayor will explain. But let's just say this is... an executionable will. Now, please.
Can I insight check him to see
Yes.
like if he's being shady?
Yes.
That is a 10.
For being a dude literally called a shadow, he seems to be on the level.
Alright.
Thrall, do you want to ask your question? Your usual question?
Is he telling the truth?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Wait, Thrall's there?
Yeah, everyone is there. The whole party has been regrouped in this
We're
cistern in
all
the sewer.
there, Josh.
Thalia's
I
gonna go
didn't catch that.
Oh, I give Thalia back her wooden thing. Yes, good call, by the way. Also, good call on sending Gerard. If it was one of these spooky dudes, I don't know if we would
I
have been
didn't have
so-
any say in that.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. Yeah.
Gerard's like, I didn't really have one either.
Oh.
I was specifically requested.
Well, I
I don't-
appreciated it, Gerard.
Out of my general curiosity, can I make like an insight check of what's making these guys super shadowy and spoopy? Because like I kind of want in on this.
Give
Like,
me an Arcana check.
I want to be a part of that shit, whatever it is.
Actually, give me an Arcana check at advantage.
Okay.
Is it because it's elf magic? And he's an elf! Well, he's only a half elf. That should be at half advantage.
He's
Should
a
roll.
full elf.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is?
I'm a full elf.
Oh, I thought
Why
he was
is
a
everyone
half
else saying
elf.
I'm- I should have been a half elf because apparently their stats are way better, but
Half, yeah.
I got an
We'll
18.
argue about that later.
I
Sorry.
got an 18.
So, looking at... With Cora, Cora's now at a gentle... Actually, what level... How bright is Cora right now? How bright do you want her to be? Because you have control over that dial.
We're in the sewers right now.
You are completely underground. There are some
I'm assuming
torches.
it's pretty dark,
There are torches, but it is pretty dark.
so she's gonna be pretty bright.
Okay. They are so because like normally if you put light into the shadow, like if you turn on your light, the shadow will just like kind of annihilate. These shadows are sticking in a really unusual way. And you've heard stories. Your mentor used to tell you stories of some really, really old magic where you could be completely to be able to basically walk between shadows. It was an old trick that fell out of favor with conventional techniques because sometimes people would walk through shadows and not come back.
That's
And
unfortunate.
like there was always something because the idea was you're stepping in spaces between, and all shadows are one shadow, and in theory you could get anywhere if there was a shadow in that room. And it's tickling all these old stories, and the way the moonlight isn't making it go away. And in some places the moonlight looks like it goes through and just keeps falling. Like it's a beam of moonlight that shoots through this dark spot on the wall and just looks like it keeps going. But when you step to the side and try and get an angle on where the moonlight is going, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like it goes on forever into certain points of the shadow.
I'm gonna say to him in Elvish, like, impressive shadow magic. I've heard about this, but I didn't know people actually could master this. I'd be down to learn how to do this. We might have 2 invisible spookies. Probably not.
Unfortunately.
He doesn't even speak Elvish.
The dude?
Yeah.
No, the dude speaks Elvish.
Thank God.
He spoke to you in Elvish earlier.
That's what I thought. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
But he turns his head to you. He's like, you might. I had the best teacher. And maybe you can find one. And his tone is much more somber than you've heard up to this point. And he kind of ducks his head and signals the end of the conversation. Thalia, you said you were climbing up the ladder. So you climb up this ladder, and you come to what looks like a stone wall. And Gerard is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get that. There should be a little nook off to the right that you can stand in, and I can get that for you." And Gerard shimmies up, and presses a brick, and the wall just kind of silent hinges just swings open. And he goes, "Now, we don't need to be perfectly silent, but keep the shouting to a minimum, please." And he begins to lead you specifically, Thalia, unless who else is going to climb the ladder?
I'm going to go up.
I'll climb the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stay in the sewer for a moment.
I'll go up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna meditate.
Okay. What are you meditating on? Or are you just taking a second to chill?
I'm just gonna sit down in a meditative position and think about some things.
Yes,
It's about-
things.
It's about all we're going into right now.
Did Keelik go up the ladder?
Yeah, Keelik kind of going up in the middle, and he's with again some help from the shadow.
Hey, man, I made a promise. If I break it, I'm gonna die. Apparently, so. Well, if he did, as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna wait and make sure nothing happens to Lami while he does this.
Okay.
You're welcome, Josh.
I don't need your ass.
I fucking hate you too.
So, as you come through this, you start walking through these servants' quarters, through these servant tunnels, things that work their way all through the mayor's estate. And these are tunnels so servants can move completely unseen and appear like magic. You've seen Gerard use these a couple of times. And Gerard is walking his way through these tunnels like the back of his hand, like he knows exactly where he is. And as all of you come, you come to a normal sized door. And he goes, "The mayor's inside. Do you want me to let him know that you're here? Or would you like to say that yourself?"
If he's having a bad day, maybe you should let him know.
One moment. And he kind of pops the door open and shuts it behind him. And as you look, you see that enormous conference table, that circular table. And this whole place is lit with just low candles. And it is uncharacteristically silent in this room. And you hear some whispered murmuring, and Gerard comes back and goes, He'll see you now. And he swings the door open and steps out of the way for you to walk in.
I go in.
Okay. And there's a strange, sweet smell. Probably some kind of incense. And it is the darkest you've seen this room. Except for and as you walk further in, you realize it's because there have been curtains placed all around these windows. And right around the edges of the curtain, you can see this frame of that purple light from outside coming through these windows. And as you approach the chair, the enormous chair that the mayor sits in, is just standing there, and it's never looked this ominous before. You always approached it from the front in daylight, and now you are behind it in shadows. And it's unsettling. This place feels like a crypt. And as you walk around the side of the table and start to fan out around the table, you see the mayor sitting in his chair. And he's just sitting there, and he's holding a piece of parchment in his hand. He's just staring at it. He doesn't really acknowledge that you guys are there.
You said we came from around behind him?
Yep, you came. So you guys had seen Gerard come through these servants' quarters a time or two through the service tunnel. You guys basically came in from behind him and are.
Can I see what's on the parchment as we pass by?
It looks like a letter that's been written, and the parchment looks old, looks very old. But on the desk in front of him, there's also some newer pieces of parchment. The handwriting looks very different. The old one that he's holding is this blocky. The handwriting looks like something that you would see like a young adult using, like a younger, like not childlike, but definitely less classy, less finesse, not a lot of flair, just very like he's writing for the sake of getting this message out, not putting flash and pizzazz on it. And some of the later ones, some of them are a little fancier. Sometimes the parchment looks neater than it is, and other ones just look kind of normal, just like a piece of paper he grabbed off of from a printing press somewhere and jotted a note on and sent it to him. And as you guys kind of circle around, he doesn't look up from the paper. He just goes, "Take a seat. This will be just whatever." And he reaches out and grabs what looks like a wine glass. And that's as he's reaching for it, he knocks over the bottle, and it kind of tips over and falls to the floor in front of him and shatters. It's completely empty.
I stay standing.
I sit.
Josh, if you said something, you're muted. Okay. I saw your mouth open. I was like,
I regret staying with him. I'm missing all the good stuff. I'm just watching this dumb dragon meditate.
I think he's rejoined. He only meditated for a couple of minutes.
Oh, thank God.
This is you guys are all the shadow is the shadow basically tailed you guys up and made sure you didn't wander off into the castle.
So I say standing as everybody's doing whatever they're doing, and I look at him and I just go, "I believe we have much to report."
Yep. You have a lot of explaining to do. And that is where we will end the episode.
Son of a bitch.
Bitch of a son. I'm meditating.
Whew. So, lovely game. You guys are awesome.
There's a lot of RP there.
That was rough. There was a lot of feelings, a lot of roughness happening.
There's more coming.
Yeah. But no, it's so nice to have a group that I can do the heavy RP stuff, and it can get heavy, and we're all adult themes and handling them with 99% maturity and 10% humor to stave off the crushing sadness. But
you don't know what's going on up here to handle all this emotion.
But so yeah, awesome game. Y'all are great. And as I was telling Mike today, while we were working for about 8 hours, this is one of the best to play with. Y'all rock.
This is the best group that I have been a player in.
This is the only group in best group I've ever played with.
This is
So-
one of the
You know what's crazy?
longest and
We've
most
never-
consistent sessions I've ever been part of.
So until next week of our consistent and lovely sessions, see y'all next time.
Bye.